Here we're asked to solve the system for x, y, and z. And before we get going on the problem, just a reminder that there's multiple ways to do this, and none of them is necessarily the best way. Just depends on what you like to do. Sometimes elimination versus substitution. But for me, I'm going to show you one way, and hopefully it will help you understand kind of some of the steps. So the first thing that I usually do is get it ready for substitution. So I'm going to look through here, and I see that I have a y by itself. So I'm going to solve this middle equation for y so that I can use substitution. So I'm going to add 3x to both sides, subtract 5z, and now I've changed it into my purple equation here. Next, I'm going to take this, use substitution, by taking my purple equation and plugging it into my first equation. So once I plug it in, it'll look a little bit like this. So I literally just substituted the y value out and I plugged in the full equation. Now I need to distribute and simplify, which should look like this here. So for me, once I combine like terms and simplify, I like to get my variables on one side and my constant on the other. And it'll help us out later, I think. So the next thing here is that I need to use substitution again, saying I know y is equal to all this purple stuff, so I'm going to plug that in for y on my third equation this time. So it's going to be negative 4x plus 2 times all of this junk. And now I need to distribute and simplify. And now I have my two equations, one in blue, one in red, and both have just x and z. So I'm down to two variables. So I need to either use elimination or substitution to simplify to a single variable. And I'm actually going to use elimination. And the reason because I have a negative 9z and a negative 9z. So if I subtract those two equations, that will give me just the x value left. So if I do 4x minus 2x, I get 2x. Negative 9z minus negative 9z just gives me 0. And 19 minus 23 gives me negative 4. So now I just solve for x, which x is equal to negative 2. And there is my first of three variables. Now what I need to do is I'm going to plug this x value into one of my equations here. So I'll just go ahead and plug it into this red one. So I get 2 times negative 2 minus 9z equals 23. And I'm going to get negative 4 minus 9z equals 23. Add 4. Divide by negative 9. And z is equal to negative 3. Once I have x and z, now all I need to do is plug these back into my first equation that I created, the purple one, which is up here, 3x minus 5z minus 5. So let me just rewrite that. I would have y equals 3 times x, which I know is negative 2, minus 5 times z, which I know is negative 3, minus 5. So y equals negative 6 minus 15. Actually, that's plus 15 minus 5. Add all that together to get that 4. So y is equal to 4. And so now I have my solution. X is negative 2, y is 4, z is negative 3, or I can write it as a coordinate if I want to. Either way works, but there's our final answer.